What if there was a way to gauge how well your social connections are going to support you? Maybe you've listened to this podcast many times and you kind of wondered, maybe you think your friendships aren't that bad. Maybe you think that they can do better. Wouldn't it be great if there was a quiz or something to help you find out? Well, there is. And that's why I'm talking to you about it right now. Just go to patternsofpossibility.com and you'll find my quiz to gauge how well your social connections are going to support you. That's in your personal life and professional life. Aren't you at least a little bit curious? Go to patternsofpossibility.com and take your quiz to find out if they're going to be able to support you when you need them the most. Hey, what's going on? My name's Coach Lee Hopkins. My pronouns are he, him, his, and you're listening to the Patterns of Possibility podcast. This is a podcast dedicated to helping you replace harmful patterns with new possibilities. In each episode, we'll explore topics that inspire you to be yourself, live your truth, and make lasting connections. In this episode, we're going to talk about talking to yourself, befriending yourself, more like, journaling, doing that, getting to know who you are, connection with the self, and those really important things that you need to know about you before you can connect with anybody else. Are you ready? Let's go. I used to think that journaling was just stupid. I mean, I personally did not feel a vibe for it. I was like, why would I ever want to? It's a waste of time and energy and effort. I don't even know what to write. I don't even know why I'm writing this thing. And if you feel like that, I'd like to offer you a little bit of what to write and why you're writing those things. The biggest reason is to get to know yourself. So if you're struggling with making connections with people who are your peers are people who generally, this is my own idea of what peers look like, are people who share similar interests with you. They share a similar experience with you. Perhaps financially, they're on the same level with you. The way they spend their money is similar to you. I like to think about your peers as being someone who has a similar history, similar hobbies, and similar habits. Some people who do some of the same things that you do, right? That do the same things that you do. And they know why they do those things. They know why their history has shaped who they are. They know why they have these habits. There's an underlying reason behind the hobbies that they do, that they have. They know these things about themselves, and you know those things about yourself too. And what draws you together is the knowingness of why you're together in the first place, why you're doing the thing that you're doing in the first place, the purpose behind it. And journaling helps you uncover that for yourself, because a lot of us, including me, of course, didn't know or don't know what it is that we do and why we do it. What's the purpose of being in a place? We're really especially after the pandemic, we're starting to question that about ourselves. Why are we doing what we do? Especially with work, people are quiet quitting. They're like, I don't need to listen to this. I don't need to do anything that you tell me to do because it doesn't feel good to me. And then once we discover that, once we're like, well, I don't like what I'm doing right now. So what do you want to do? What do I know about myself? What do I like? I can tell you my journey on self-discovery. The first thing that comes to mind, one of the things that comes to mind is how I've just been in relationship after relationship that was just really not good for me, in the sense of it wasn't good that I wasn't able to express myself. And I didn't know how to express myself, right? And so after I left those relationships, I had trouble making decisions for myself. I didn't know what I wanted or what I liked. I didn't know what I wanted to do or why I would be in those spaces. I just had no idea. And journaling, sitting down with my thoughts, getting them out of my head instead of letting them roll around in my head, getting them out of my head really helped me understand more about me. So I would write down my experiences, what I've seen, what I've heard, what I thought, what I felt. There is no wrong way to journal. Everything that you write is correct and it serves a purpose for you. It really does. I hope that you walk away and believe that. Everything that you write, you think, you feel is valid and worth expression. And putting pen to paper is an amazing way to express yourself to yourself. So journaling what I did, my ideas and my thoughts, I think about that as being emotion that you put down as a save point. You put it down as a save point. And that's my reference, because I used to play a lot of video games. I used to play a lot of role-playing games. And I think about the emotional intensity of an event can be saved on a sheet of paper. And then you can return back to that and learn from the event. I had a podcast episode about this. I think it was The Beat some time ago. But the episode basically talked about how you can write down what it is that you need. You can save that space or time, and then you go forward with that being a save point. And perhaps the save points would appear like right before you'd have a major battle. You're fighting a boss or something like that, right? And there's a save point right there, and you'll save at that point, and then you'll go fight the boss. And if you lose, you return back to the save point. And you get to re-examine, you've had that experience, what am I going to do next time? What can I equip my team with to beat this boss next time? And so that's how I think about writing down things, journaling, capturing the essence, whether you're writing in a journal, whether it's voice recorded or video recorded, you are capturing your feelings or your experiences of that moment. And it is something to learn from, something to learn about you. Something to learn about you, so that when you face another situation that's similar, so you're probably not going to fight the same boss like in a video game, but you will have an experience that is similar, and you go out there and you'll have that experience, and then you come back in your journal, you write it down, and then you go back out and you have an experience in your journal and you write it down. So what's wrong with this? What I'm saying, it's not working if you're going to have the same experience and the same reaction. Well, one important piece about getting to know yourself is to really have a conversation with yourself. So you're writing in your journal, you also have to revisit, look at that. You're having a conversation with yourself. And so when you're writing, when you're capturing this moment in time, when you're capturing your feelings on a piece of paper, or your voice recording, or your video recording, it's advantageous for you to go back and learn from it. What did you do in those experiences? What can you do differently? How did you feel? Noticing those little things about you, and every time you go out to have a new experience or an experience that's similar, you can try something different. You'll remember that you've already tried that once. It's in your journal. You've already tried being nice. You've already tried raising your voice. You've already tried walking away. There's another option that you can try. What one felt good for you? Which one didn't feel good for you? You get to examine, and you get to know more about yourself and how you're likely to behave in those situations. If you know your preferences, if you know what it is that you want, your desires, your needs, then you can communicate that to another person and not expect them to fulfill these needs and desires that you have, but you don't even know how they're fulfilled. They're going to get it wrong every single time because you don't know what you want and they don't know what you want. So just keep trying, and you're like, nope, this isn't it. Nope, this isn't it. Go have a conversation with yourself. Figure out what it is that you want so that you can clearly tell them, so that you can clearly ask them to demonstrate what it is that you want from them. So if you are a person who's trying to make connections with others, I want to leave you with this. If you have a general idea of making friends, what you want a friend for, I'd like you to think about getting more specific. Don't say, I just want a friend to hang out. I want to talk to my coworkers over lunch. Okay, those are things that you can do, but they're not specific enough. What do you want to do with your friend? What do you want to talk about? Like, what activity do you want to do together? What do you want to talk about in particular? Fashion? Do you want to talk about the news? Do you want to debate? Do you want to talk about video games or sports? What is it that you want to talk about? Where do you want to talk about these things? Do you just want to go for a walk? Do you want to just hang out and sit in a bar? What are the things that you want to do? So these are all based on your own preferences. If you have no idea what you prefer to do, you're going to be stuck in trying to connect with other people. So get that journal. Start writing down your thoughts and your ideas. You can't do it wrong. Start talking into a microphone on your phone. Record yourself on video. Do something to get your experiences out there, and then go back to revisit those experiences. Reread, listen, watch. It's going to tell you a lot about who you are and what you want so that you can share with another person. I'll be right back with the Answer Reddit question. Are you ready for the annual Social Connections Summit? It's happening August 5th and 6th. This year's summit theme is all about building trust and connecting authentically. That's in both your personal and professional life. Experts, coaches, and social wellness practitioners from all over are going to gather to this one spectacular event to help bring the joy of connection, community, and camaraderie to you. If in your personal life you feel unsupported with your current social circles, or if you don't have a group of peers that are close to you in age and share your interests and lifestyles, if you feel shyness or anxiety when meeting new people, this event is for you. It's going to help you improve your personal life. And in your professional life, if you feel more like an outsider than a team member in the workplace, if you feel like you don't have peers at work that know what's important to you, or if you feel like you always have to go along to get along, you need to be at this event. I promise you, you will leave empowered with skills and knowledge to create the social, emotional support that you need in both your personal and professional life. You don't have to just be friendly at work. You can actually be friends. Come find out how. Early bird tickets are on sale now until June 1st. Early bird ticket holders will receive a private, personalized one-to-one coaching session from up to 3 different coaches of their choosing. That's right, early bird ticket holders will receive private, personalized coaching. If you've been afraid to invest in a coach, this is your opportunity to test drive. If you want an experiential learning environment like none other, where you're going to gain insight from world-class professionals, be empowered by personality tests like the Enneagram and DISC assessments, and have an opportunity to network and share your experiences with others who feel exactly as you do, get yourself to the annual Social Connections Summit happening August 5th and 6th. Go to patternsof possibility.com to get your tickets, or check the link in the show notes. I'll see you there. Alright, now it's time for the Reddit friendship advice question. If you have a friendship advice question that you think I should answer, tag me in it on Reddit. My handle is Brilliant and Resilient. That's Brilliant, the letter N, Resilient. Instead of the friendship advice, I went to our friendship, and what I've discovered is this one, a 32 female looking for friends. I'm pretty lonely these days, especially since I moved states, and looking for new friends that are at a similar stage in life. Back at it, dating after a brutal breakup and a couple year-long hiatus. I work remotely, and I'm pretty bubbly. I love anything art, astrology, animals. I love to give advice and take advice. I'm here to talk to someone who needs a little bit of love and emotional support day to day, and who'd like to reciprocate as well. I'm okay to talk about anything, casual or deep. No discrimination on gender. Now, doesn't this sound like a nice advertisement? This our friendships is to find all things friendship. If you're after friendship advice or feeling lonely, you need someone to chat, this is a place for you. That's what they say. So I picked this up here because we're talking about connecting with yourself and then reaching out to people to see if they can connect with you. So the way connecting with other people works is knowing what it is that you like, your desires, your needs, and then sharing that with another person openly and authentically, and seeing how they respond and seeing if you like their response. So in this post here, it basically said just a few lines, but it's enough to kind of give you an idea of whether or not you want to connect with this person. They know a little bit about themselves. They may know a lot more, but they're just not revealing it all here, right? So they're just sharing, those things that they really want to connect on it with. What stands out to me is that they are looking for someone at a similar stage in life. And to describe the similar stage to me was, they want you to understand that they had a brutal breakup. And it took them some time to recover because they had a couple year-long hiatus. So they went through a terrible experience, or a really maybe damaging, that's not the word they use, but they said brutal, but it was a really impactful breakup on them. And they want to let you know that they work remotely, so that's a little bit about what they do. They're not commuting all the time, so that gives you an idea of how they spend their time at home because they're working remotely. They may spend their time at home. They may go out to coffee shops, who knows? And they say they're pretty bubbly. And they talk about some of their hobbies. So they have a history here that they shared with you. The history is that they've had relationships that didn't go well, and who can't relate to that. There may be some people who can relate to it. But that would be something to talk about with this person. And it seems like they'd be interested in talking about that. I would think, though, that if I was going to connect with this person, they're talking about the brutal breakup. I'd kind of want to know what the details were. I want to know, and I want to be able to share, because I often talk about my relationships here on the podcast and how crappy I was, and a lot of things that I tolerated that weren't really kind to me either, just because I didn't know. And I'd want to see some growth from that. If I'm thinking about me and my own experiences, and if I journaled and I wrote down, like, I don't want to talk to somebody who's really stuck in it, who's really just continuing to face it, or choosing partners that harm them. Or maybe, I'd like to hear about their growth from the experience. That's what I'd like to know if I'm connecting with them. So while they say they know what they're talking about themselves, it is also on me to know about myself and what I'm looking for as well. So if I'm going to connect with them on whatever it is that they share here about their breakup, about their history, why they was on a hiatus, I kind of know what makes a good friend for me, right? I want to know what makes a good friend for me when going into the situation. And so I talked about the history. Now here they also talk about the hobbies that they have. They love anything art, astrology, and animals. That's great. It's something for me to connect on right there. We can start our conversation talking about, what do you like about art? What kind of art things do you like? What do you like about astrology? And what animals do you like? And things like that. I'd have to know myself in order to look for a connection. It's kind of like a match game. I like art. I might like art. What do I like about art that I'm hoping they'll also like? What do I like about astrology that I'm hoping to also find out that they like? Or animals that I hope that they also like? What are those things? And if we don't have a match on those things, can I be curious enough to learn more about what it is that they like and why they like it? Knowing that about yourself. Can you tolerate it if somebody just wants to talk about ancient art and you have no interest or idea about it? Is that something that you're looking for in a friend? And if you encounter that, would you be able to let them know that this isn't something that I really am interested in, and I'd like to talk about something else, or I'd like to learn something more about you. I like to try and connect on a different level. I try to connect on something else. Can you as a person, do you know that about yourself? Were you able to do that so that you can make a connection with them? Be honest and upfront. They also talk about their hobbies, which is really great. I love to give advice and take advice. They talked about the hobbies. We already talked about the hobbies. They also talked about their habits. I love to give advice and take advice. I'm here to talk to someone who just needs a little love and emotional support day to day, and who'd like to reciprocate as well. That's really cool. That's a habit that I am having all kinds of feelings about, because I'm like, wow, that's really supportive and that's really kind. I'm not a person who wants to give advice and take advice all the time. What I'd like to do is share my experiences with you instead of giving you advice. I don't want to tell you what to do. I want to tell you what works for me and hope that you'd be willing to try it yourself and report back to me with what you discover. And when you report back to me with what you discover, then I may get to adjust. I may get to learn about your experiences, and that's valuable information that I could use in the future for something that, I could apply. Like, oh, you went out and you tried something that I tried and it didn't work for you, but when you made this little tweak, it worked really well for you, and you come back to share that with me, then I've got new knowledge, and maybe I can try that little tweak. When I read the word advice, I get the sensation that I'm going to tell you what to do, and I also want you to tell me what to do. And I don't quite like that. I don't quite believe that is autonomous. Like, that doesn't allow you to be autonomous. It doesn't allow you to give you the choice to take or leave the experience that you have. Like, share your experience and allow people to take what they need. It works really well if you're trying to share information with others. You give them the option, because I don't believe that a lot of people like to be told what to do, just because many people enjoy the autonomy of making the decision, of believing that it's their own idea, of being curious and trying themselves. So I broke this post down because in order to connect with another person, like I said at the beginning, it all has to do with journaling and getting to know yourself first. So you have to know what it is that you're looking for in order to put that out for people so that they can connect with you. They can decide whether you have what they're looking for. It's kind of like a match game, right? And do you have the skill set or the mindset to engage in a conversation, to be curious about what it is that they're talking about? Do you know that about yourself? Where has that shown up? Where has impatience shown up? Those kind of things. You need to be able to know what it is that you're capable of and what you want in order to connect with another person. And you'll discover that if you journal, but not just journal. You want to return back to the instance. It's a conversation with yourself. You get it out of yourself. You speak it, you write it, you video record it, whatever it is that you do to get it out, and then return to it, because it's a conversation. You have to listen to yourself, right? Redditor, thank you so much for asking your question. I know that you didn't ask me to answer it, but I did, and I hope that it helps. Best of luck to you. Take care. My name is Coach Lee Hopkins, and you have been listening to the Patterns of Possibility podcast. You can find me at patternsofpossibility.com and on all social media at Patterns of Possibility. And as always, I want to encourage you to be yourself, live your truth, and there you'll make lasting friendships.